everyone, this is FennéCrafts, or Anna if you prefer, and it's been a long time since I've made one of these. I had every intention of making this a far more regular thing in 2021, but life just sort of got in the way. 2021 wasn't much better than 2020 was for me, if you might know, because you might remember the first one. But right now, I don't really feel like talking about 2021. I kind of just want to look forward to 2022. It definitely wasn't, like, as bad as 2020 was, but it could have definitely been better. If you're unfamiliar with what this video is, it is a craft and chat, which is basically just a time-lapse video of me working on a fursuit while I talk about random things. Could be relating to furries or art or anything else. This is only my second time doing one of these, but now you know. What you're watching currently is the build of the Australian Shepherd that I made back in September of 2021. I had this recording on the back burner for a while, but I'm finally getting the audio for it now so that you guys can actually enjoy the video. As always, if you don't wish to listen to me and you just want to see the suit being built, go ahead and mute me and play whatever else you would like to hear in the background. In this episode, it's not super topic specific like the first one, but it's definitely cheerier. I basically just want to go over how 2022 has been for me so far and what my plans are as we continue onward into the year. Well, I'm sure many of you may be wondering, so I'm going to get this out of the way first. As of recording this, I am down to only 2 people left on my queue, and you can imagine how much a relief this is. I've really been pushing to get this done. At the beginning of the year, we actually all got sick. My entire household got really sick. Like, right after Christmas, one got sick, and we weren't all better until, like, a week or 2 into the new year. So I couldn't even work all that well, but right when I started feeling better, I still immediately went back to work. And you would think that this would, like, maybe be me thinking, man, this already stinks. The year's already starting off terrible, but I just wanted to get this over with and keep pushing through it. And it's paid off, and I'm ecstatic. Being that my first craft and chat video mentioned how I was constantly drowning in the work, but now I'm just about finished, and I'm really happy, and I'm never going to let that happen again, because I think it killed me a little on the inside. Like, I feel like my spine literally grew an extra inch with how much I've straightened back out. I don't really feel like going into specifics of what it was like getting all done, because there really wasn't anything specific. I basically just did the work, and I managed my time well, and it's finally over. Well, almost over. I still have the last 2 remaining there. But they'll be gone fairly soon, and it's really enjoyable now just being able to publicly tell people that it's almost done, and I finally have the freedom to do other things again, and it's really nice. And because I've also had people asking nonstop for months now, just wanted to say, no, I have no clear, definitive idea, date, or time frame of when I may do commissions again. I want the opportunity to work on pre-mades for a bit, because I just haven't had the ability to do so uninterrupted in a while. And it's not that I won't ever offer commissions again. Like, I will eventually in the future, because I like doing custom work and making people happy and stuff. But I really just want to do my own things for a bit. I've had a lot of designs, like, get pushed back, and I probably lost some hair in the process. But, rest assured, when I do, I will publicly announce it so that everyone has a chance to prepare. Same goes for price. I have no price sheets in mind yet for what custom work will cost. I am sorry. I may have a price sheet closer to summer, but don't quote me on that. Never quote me on anything I say that is time related, because I've given time frames before, and they're usually always wrong. Not that it matters this time around, because I'm not going to be offering the commissions at that time, so yeah. I have no clear answers for any of you. Except that I will eventually open up in the future, but not anytime soon. I think that covers just about everything relating to commissions. I'm also really, really grateful for all the people who wished me well in regards to my last video when I talked about being in the hole. I appreciate it, really. And I'm really happy I was also able to provide some comfort for people who are in a similar position. I didn't really think so many people were feeling that same way. But if you're still there, I believe in you. You can get through it. Just keep your nose on the grindstone, and one by one, you'll see your list start to shrink. And next up, I want to talk about what my own 2022 will hold. Firstly, I've decided to do an entire year of no buy. which if you've never seen or heard of somebody doing one of those before, it is what it's called. It's basically just an allotted amount of time where people don't buy specific things, usually frivolous or non-necessary items. Another variation of this would be a low buy, where people just buy less of something. It's a pretty similar idea. Every no buy is different, and the rules are often determined by the person who's doing the no buy. The length of the no buy also tends to differ. It usually ranges from a single month, which is what a lot of people start with, to an entire year or more. I actually decided to do the full year right off the bat, because I kind of need it. I started thinking about doing it back in September of 2021, I think about the time this video was recorded. But it was both as a way to save money in general, and for something specific, which I will mention soon, but it's kind of a big thing. And also to help curb that spending habit I mentioned a while back. I have no qualms with shopping from a moral standpoint. I'm not doing it as a way to make some stance against consuming, quote-unquote. Shopping for mass-made items is fine, it's normal, I don't care, you do whatever it is you want to do. If anything, people overeating vast amounts of food is a lot worse. But that's not my place to say. So, for the curious, my rules for my no-buy are as followed. 1. I can spend money on recurring bills, necessities, and purchases made for work. Number 2. My no-buy will be lasting for the full year of 2022, with no cheats or breaks in between. Rule number 3. Not so much a rule, but I'm going to be writing down everything I purchase or spend in a little notebook so I can keep track of what I buy. This also comes in handy for tax season, and I may or may not share the notebook at the end of the year, depending on what personal stuff is in it. And rule number 4, I can spend fun money that I get from holidays or birthdays on anything I want, because I figure I didn't earn the money, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to go anything to something important. That's it. To help clarify what is allowed in Rule 1, reoccurring bills for me are bills that I'm expected to see arrive on time every month, like at the same time. This would be things like mortgage, utilities, insurance, phone bill, dance class tuition, and subscription services. I only have about $20 worth of subscription services in total. They aren't necessities, obviously, but I don't really do much for entertainment, and since most of the people doing these no-buys also let things like Netflix and Hulu slip by, which we have Netflix, but I don't pay for it, I've let these stay. This includes one YouTube subscription to my friend Tiny, one Twitch subscription to my friend Suji, one membership to Nintendo Online, and one Neopets Premium membership. That's it. Other necessities are basically bills that pop up but aren't specifically timed, like gas, food, not including eating out. I'm not allowed to eat out unless somebody else pays for it or it's with fun money. Toiletries, medicine, hospital bills, stuff like that. Like, I can't live without them, but they aren't exactly things that happen at the same time every month or even every few months. Like, they're kind of random. Vet would probably be an example. Like, I think I have a vet bill coming up in December, but if they suddenly need to stop in, then I have to go take care of that. That's important. As for purchases for work, this is basically anything that I consider a tax write-off, to an extent, at least. Like, for example, obviously I need supplies. Things like foam, fur, thread, stuff like that. Bases that I outsource are also fine too, because those almost always get used up. Certain things that I have lived myself on, though, include adoptables or custom designs. Obviously, a while back in 2020, I purchased so many of those that I justified myself saying I'd eventually turn them into suits. And I think I got through maybe a quarter of them before I just sold them all off. So my rule this time around is that if I do not make it into a suit at least 60 days after purchased, I must resell it. I can't keep it around, excluding designs I've already purchased before 2022. My reason being is that even if it is a tax write-off and there's plans to make it into a suit, I can't reasonably make every design I purchase into a suit. And that will just be a waste of money until I sell it. So I had to limit myself with that. Conventions are also technically a tax write-off. Like, even if I was just going there for fun, according to my accountant, they are considered a tax write-off because it's like advertising. But because they're so expensive, I actually made the decision to cancel a lot of what I had planned for 2022. Like, unless I was specifically going to make profit with it. Especially with the state of things at the moment, you know, the panorama, I don't know, they're just not as fun as I remember them being. Like, I don't know, I miss getting to hug people, I guess. But, If you don't know, I actually won the opportunity to book a suite first FWA back when they held the raffle. I purchased like $100 in raffle tickets and it worked. But I thought that by now stuff would be more back to normal. I wanted to get the biggest suite that they had and host a massive party, because that's something I wanted to do since I like first joined the fandom. Because I wanted to feel cool and exciting and blah 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 blah. But we're still at the point where nobody would actually like stand next to each other, and I'd have to limit guests a lot. And I can't picture paying $5,000 for the room and the food and the goodie bags and everything else just to throw a half-hearted party. It sounds like a bad idea, or even really just a boring one. So I just kind of had to let that dream die, unfortunately. But oh well. I ended up giving the prize to a buddy of mine, and I just canceled the trip altogether. Back in September, I also canceled my ultra-sponsored trip for Anthrocon, which was the $1,000 one. It was too much for me to risk losing if it got canceled again, or if I suddenly got sick, because I don't know what the rules would have been if time got like way closer. I may stop in for like a day with like a day pass, because I do still go to Pennsylvania every year, because that's where a campsite is, so I'm up there during Anthrocon anyway, and it's only like 45 minutes away. But I'm not going to be booking a room or staying the whole time at all if I do go. It's probably just going to be because my mom has mentioned it as like a birthday present for like a day of getting me a pass for that day. So, I don't know, maybe? I don't know. I'll figure it out when time gets closer. In regards to Megaplex, I didn't actually have like the best time when I was there last year. Like, it was fun because I hadn't been at a convention in a while, and I think I just really wanted my fix of a convention. But I didn't really like the hotel, and I guess I just didn't have anything else to compare it to, really. But this one, I'm actually going to be applying for the dealer's den. They just opened applications a couple days ago, and I have until the end of March to get my application in. And if I get in, it'd be my first time ever vending at a convention, and that, I feel, is a proper tax write-off, and I can justify that. Technically, last year they put me in the art style to give out free art because I was drawing in the hallway, but I don't really think that counts. But yeah, if that works, I will totally go to Megaplex then. And even if I don't get in, like, I'd still be fine just vending at the artist alley for a day. I'm going to be trying for a booth, but I'll also be just as happy to get a table. And I feel like I have a better chance getting in at Megaplex than I do at FWA or Anthrocon, because I think Megaplex is a bit smaller. While I'm there, I'm also cutting costs as much as I can. I have a free room booked at Disney World, which is only 12 minutes from the convention, and it's definitely cheaper just to ride an Uber to the convention than to book a room at the convention hotel itself, which I really didn't like staying at anyway. Also, for clarification, the free stay at Disney World is because it's paid for in Vacation Club points. It's not paid for with cash. My family has a lot of points. If it wasn't points, then it definitely would cost more than the hotel that the convention takes place at. So yeah, I'll only pretty much be paying for the price of the table and for my registration. And if you get into the dealer's den, it actually includes a registration. So yeah, that would actually be cheaper than attending FWA or Anthrocon's registrations at my preferred registration level anyway. I never like getting the cheapest option. If for some reason I'm not able to vend like at all, I don't really know why that would be a thing, but if for some reason I can't, then I might just cancel that trip too and do no cons in 2022. I just can't justify the cost of the trips this year. All those Disney trips are normally free for me, so I'm fine going with those. But every time I go to conventions, I usually end up paying for the majority of the room and my husband's registration, my registration, and I treat a lot, and it's just way too much. Outside of just furry stuff, any supplies I buy for YouTube is alright as well, because I actually want to try and make YouTube a financially viable thing by the end of the year, at least a little bit. Same goes for any other money-making ventures I do, all tax write-offs, but I don't want to go overboard. So I'll be using discretion like I am with conventions. Like, I'm not going to buy a $3,000 camera when I think a $500 one would do just fine, you know? Along with helping fix my spending habits, the main big reason I'm saving is because my husband and I are very eager to move as soon as possible. That's like the big thing as to why I'm doing this. We really want to move. We live in Georgia currently, and we both really like it here. I personally love like the weather and the people and just the geography in general. I like the fact that everything's flat, but there's still forests everywhere. And I grew up here my whole life, so it's just like the place I know the most by default. But the area we live in is slowly becoming unsafe. It's at the point now where we're seeing things that weren't present 2 years ago in our area when we moved into the neighborhood, and it's like right outside our neighborhood. The area we lived in was like, it wasn't perfect when we showed up, and we never expected this to be our permanent residency anyway. It was always going to be a starter house, but I don't think we saw it like going like this so fast. And I'm sure, as many of you know, moving costs quite a lot. So it's kind of top priority at this point. I can definitely put off buying like useless knickknacks and cutting down on conventions if it means we get to leave. But we'll never get to head out if we don't work together as a team, so it's definitely what matters most at the moment. So yeah, that's my rules and reasonings for doing my no-buy for 2022. And as of my uploading today, February 18th, 2022, I've actually managed to complete a full month and a half so far. Like, yeah, with no slip-ups, which is way more than I thought I'd be able to do, to be honest. I didn't have, like, I wasn't super confident in myself, but I'm way more confident now. Like, I was originally sad that I didn't mention anything at the very beginning of 2020, saying, hey, I'm doing a no-buy, or stuff like that. I think, like, outside of my bubble and my group chat, I didn't mention anything, but I feel like I probably would have messed up if I did, so I'm fine mentioning it now. I've been sticking to it, and I'm very proud of myself. I have already used up a lot of my fun money from Christmas, but I'm hoping I've gotten that out of my system now. I was almost tempted a few days ago to buy something I didn't need. I've been kind of missing my Webkins, and Gans, the company that makes Webkins, was holding a promotion over Valentine's Day where you would get a free Love Puppy code if you bought $150 worth of eStore points. And I was really tempted. I haven't even, like, played it in forever, but I just saw that that was an option. But I held off, and eventually the offer expired, so I made it through, and it was tough. If I still had enough fun money, though, I probably definitely would have got it with that. But, yeah, all my upcoming trips this year, aside from conventions, they're pretty much paid for via family, or were paid for back in 2021, like, way before I thought of doing a no-buy. My family has actually been, like, super generous this year in buying me, like, park passes, because I didn't want to pay for them, because I was just like, I can't go, I have to save up this year. And then they were like, okay, here's a park pass. Okay. Like, my brother got me a annual pass to Universal Studios so that I could go with him. And my mom has gotten me a park hopper because she knew I had like one day left on mine, and she was just like, "There, I wanted you to go more." So, thank you. I just got back from a trip at the end of January, actually, where you will see a vlog pretty soon. And when I'm going on the trips, I'm actually bringing work with me each time this year. Like, I know it wouldn't hurt to have an actual vacation, but work's kind of important to me right now. And I was actually able to complete the Chibi Shiba Inu on my last trip. So I was super happy, and I still got to relax at the same time. I have another trip coming up at the end of this month, and I'll be doing a milk chocolate husky on this one. It will again be at Disney World, because that's where my first one was, but this time it's just with my mom, and part of the trip is taking place on the maiden voyage of the Galactic Star Cruiser. The new Star Wars hotel it's kind of getting mixed reactions. We will be there when it first opens. We stayed on hold for like 8 hours booking it a long time ago. But from what I've been hearing, it's either going to be really good or really bad. But I have nothing to lose by going, and it's at no cost to me, so I'm still going. I still didn't make my costume, though. I haven't started on it at all. I'm probably going to have to do a rush job and complete it in 3 days or something. But that's okay. I've done more in less time before, and there's not like a head to go with it or anything, because Disney has that rule about, like, you can't cover your face anywhere, so yeah. Okay, what's next? Aside from my no-buy, I'd also like to talk about the New Year's resolutions I have going on this year. There's quite a few. Well, not many. Usually there's a lot more, but I've narrowed it down to like 7. And they're not really so much resolutions as they are goals, but you know. Number 1, do a full year of no-buy. We know this already. Let's move on to the next one. Number 2, make 50 fursuits. Yeah, I want to complete 50 fursuits in 2022. And I know it does sound a little lofty, but I figured, you know that whole shoot for the moon and you'll land somewhere in the stars kind of thing. I was able to make 30 back in 2019, and I was already able to complete 5 for the first month of this year while I was sick and while I was finishing orders. And I'm on track to finish a lot this month and the following month, so I don't know. I'm working much smarter this year and more often, and I'm also way less distracted this time around. Like, I'm just getting better at keeping focus. And there's less custom work in the back of my mind too, so I'm pretty confident. And I've seen other makers do more than that before, although they usually have like more than one person. But on top of this, I want at least 20% of them to be full suits or 3/4 suits. So if I make 50, that means at least 10 of them have to be that type of suit. I've actually not made a 3/4 suit since like 2014. It's been a really long time. I won't, but I don't know, I'm excited to see what happens. I won't be downtrodden if I don't make it to 50, because honestly, I'm happy just trying to reach the goal that I set, because, you know, part of the fun is the process, so we'll see how it goes. Number 3, sell at one convention. Already went over this, but yeah, sell at one convention, at least an artist alley or dealer's den. Number 4, eat better / get healthier / cook more. This is mostly for vanity reasons, to lose more weight and get a little more toned. But also my ballet studio will be having a point assessment at the start of summer this year. I don't have high hopes that I'll get to go on point this year because I haven't been dancing as long as everybody else has, who's going into point assessment as far as I know. But I'd like to at least show them that I'm a contender for like the following year, and I think being a little lighter on my feet and a little stronger will help me definitely. And it never hurts to learn how to cook more, because I definitely want my husband to get some more home-cooked meals, because he really likes that, and I like making him happy. Number 5, reach 50,000 followers on Instagram. I've been on a steady incline of about 10,000 followers a year since 2019. Usually by August each year it ticks over. So in theory, I should reach 40,000 by August 2022. However, I'm going to try and push it and see if I can do 50,000 by the end of 2022. Though with Instagram's new algorithm, I don't know if it'll work, but I'm still gonna try and enjoy the process anyway. Number 6, reach 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. Okay, this is kind of a bigger one because I'm nowhere near that. I really want to do more with my YouTube though. Like, I mentioned last year that I wanted to do that, but I never had the time. This year, I think I can manage it. I do have more videos on the back burner already that I've been working on, like this one. And I think longer, more interesting videos like this are good ways to start. I never really count my 2-minute fursuit showcases as, like, interesting content all that much. I mostly just do it for advertising. But I want to be able to offer vlogs and tutorials and basic fun things on here for people to enjoy watching. I'm probably going to be figuring out what sticks for the first few months, but I don't know. I'm interested to see what you guys want to see. I want to make my channel more of like just a fun place to be and grow an audience. And I think it's time I finally tried doing it rather than just talking about it all the time. Finally, number 7. Save X amount of money. Okay, this one's kind of private because it's money related, but I want to save a certain amount of money by the end of the year. And I think I have a shot. I won't tell you how much it is, but I'll let you know if I made it. It's kind of related to moving, if that helps give you a guess. But if I do change my mind and decide to tell you how much it is at a later date, then I guess you'll find out then. But for now, I don't really feel comfortable sharing it. Well, I think that's really all I have to say about 2022 right now. I'm very hopeful going into this year. I think it's going to be leagues better than the last 2 years in regards to my business and just general well-being. Knock on wood. Or at the very least, I'm not going to put up with so much this year. Like, I'm going to try my best to actually put my foot down on things that I don't see going right, and just to keep things more in line and do things that I want to do. And I want to be a little less sensitive to things that I can't control and just relax a bit, if I can. I want to thank everybody for being so patient with me getting up what is only the 2nd episode of this series. Like, I know it took a long time, but I don't think the 3rd episode will take nearly as long, trust me. To preview the next episode, I want to talk about my experiences selling suits in more obscure places. But if you guys have any specific topics you want me to talk about, furry related or otherwise, feel free to leave your suggestions below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I hope you all enjoyed watching and listening to me talk for a bit, and I can't wait to see you guys again next time. Have a lovely day. Bye!